Give me one moment here. Give me one moment here. All right. So there we go. We are just streaming. I'm got it running over there. Also got a little lake audio running as well. Kind of makes it feel a little soothing here. Kind of soothes the mood, if you will. I say that, and I got like buses running behind me too. But, it's some nice birds chirping, sitting by a lake. Eventually, hopefully, I'm able to do a stream where I can actually do that for you people. But for now, it's serene because we're here to calm ourselves, keep calm, be chill. This is a new stream. I've decided to do this last minute, and it's what's the date? Let me check the date again. To be honest with you, it's the 10th of June. We're supposed to have a strawberry moon tonight. I was hoping to go shooting with my camera to get the strawberry moon. It's foggy. It's cloudy outside, so it doesn't look like I'm going to be lucking out. And this doesn't happen again until like 2043. They're saying. So there we go. All right. So I hope everybody's doing well this fine day. I figured I'd stream this for you guys here. This is something I've been wanting to do for a while. Bear with me for a sec. I'm actually going to advertise the stream on a few places. So give me one moment here. I like to get this advertised out to people. So give me a second here. I gotta get a new background. That's what I gotta get, but we'll see. Someday. Oh, I don't like Facebook. You gotta actually zoom out in order to find these buttons. So annoying. Facebook, fix your shit. There, I got to put back to 100% again to put it so it's readable and legible. Facebook's, for some reason, their numbers got a lot lower. I don't know what the hell's going on with that, but Facebook's number or letters are tiny now. I don't know what's going on with that. The numbers are very tiny. I got the chat room here in case anybody does pop in. Give me a few seconds here. There we go. Anyway, I wear these gloves not for show. I actually wear these out on a daily basis. I get sweaty palms, and I just the skull parts is for show, but I wear gloves constantly. Fingerless gloves. I like my fingers to access, for things like butter. Uh, like if I'm on my phone or something, So, but anyway, I'm rambling on. This is what this is about today. Even though I can ramble, many people tell me that for 50 some years or 40 some years, however long I've been in the public eye. I'm 52 now. So, uh, but yeah, we are here to talk about Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. Just give me a sec here. I get some tea. Ooh, good stuff. Uh, I myself deal with men's mental health constantly. Always have, always will. What exactly am I here to talk about? Many things. I won't keep this too long though. If anybody wanted to join, I don't know how to send out invites to people. I don't know how that's done, to be honest with you. Um, I'll learn more. Oh, okay, invites. Yeah. Okay, there's the invites there now. No, you can't do that unless you pay. All right, yeah, but yeah, I have invites here as well if people want to come on and what have you. So, but anyway, right now let's talk about what this is about. This is about Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, June, and why is it something I believe we need to talk about? It, I need my camera like right in the middle of my screen so I can actually keep monitor what I'm doing. I'm like, hey, there I go. So, but here, hold on, give me a second. Uh, yes, I have Christmas lights behind me. I always have Christmas lights up all year long. At least this row here behind me. It's just nice. I'm called my movie lights. It's actually a little bit brighter. I have the door open, so um, I like the air freshener in here. The air freshener. I like the air to be fresh in here. Uh, yeah, this month is a month that we don't talk about much. Not many people talk about this month, and I myself have dealt with mental health. God, as long as I can remember, when I was 4 or 5 years old, I was diagnosed with ADHD. I remember being put on Ritalin as a child. We didn't know much about it. We had books about, what not to eat, like food dyes, ketchup, certain things I couldn't eat back then. Certain things. It was on Ritalin. I was like the test subject of Ritalin. That was not fun. I'll tell you right now. My childhood was kind of scary and messy. It did a lot to me. Turns out Ritalin actually weakened my bladder. People have wondered why kids pee the bed. I did because I took Ritalin. It actually weakened my bladder. It's funny. As soon as I went off it, I never had any other issues after. So any of those kids that wet the bed during those younger years, if you were on Ritalin, there's a good chance you were. That's what did it. I even did it in front of the class one time. I just couldn't hold it, and it just happened. I'm not ashamed to talk about these things now because they happened when they happened. It turns out Ritalin was the reason this stuff happened. So, do I regret it? Yeah, well, it's part of my childhood. I don't try to think about it. I've really shunned out my school years because it was not good. Mental health wise, my school years were horrible. And then I remember when I was put into grade grade seven. Back in my generation, it was like junior. It was elementary, 1 to 6, and then 7 to 9 it was junior high because they didn't shove you right into high school from elementary. That was too much of an extreme jolt. You had the middle school, the junior high that would get you ready for high school. Uh, so anyway, I got put into grade 7. I was there for a month and I got put back into grade 6, special class. It's not like I don't have a slow running brain or I didn't have any mental cognitive issues. I can think quite intelligently. I'm quite highly intelligent. I'm fast thinking on my ADHD. Turns out that really hindered me. I didn't realize it at the time. So I was put in a special needs class. Made me feel, and I'm not blaming anybody. It just they didn't know anything back then. And by the way, I'm to tell now. It turns out I have autism too, mild, but it's still I do have it. And it made a lot of my childhood make sense of why I was in these special classes. I was a little abnormal than the average brain, a little bit more abnormal than the average person. So yeah, but we didn't know much about that. Back then, it was very little talked about thing in the 70s. It wasn't even known much about. So, hence, I didn't get a diagnosis. I technically never had an official diagnosis, but I've had family in health fields that know and friends that have raised children with autism, mild autism. Like, yeah, Tom, you are 100% you are. And I've just analyzed it over the years, knowing myself over the years. It's like, oh, that makes me wonder why I've done things many of the times in my life. Um, like for one, I'm going to use these as references. I did a project on it recently. Actually, once I learned about autism, see, there's are masks. I love masks. It's a lucha mask. That's of Dr. Wegner. So, but it represents me wearing. I have multiple different types of masks. Another one. This is a dollar store lucha mask. But masks. I masked a lot of my life. Now, what does that mean? Not a these derive from a symbolism of masking. So um, oh well, thank you. Yes, yes. No, he hasn't been streamed in a while. He's doing his thing. But yeah. No, I appreciate that, and I hope you enjoyed it. It was raw. That book is raw. I'm actually going to get to that in a bit here. There it is, right here. Uh, thank you for that, by the way. I appreciate that. Um, but yeah, no, Mike will be. I'm actually planning on getting hold of him soon. I want to see when he's able to go back on. He's still doing his Sunday church thing, and he's also got the Saturday matinee. He's just really busy. He's a busy man. He's working his butt off, but he'll be back. I promise you. I got to get hold of him here soon. But anyway, going back to that, my childhood after grade 6, you get sent back to grade 6 after being in grade 7 for a month. That messes with your head. I hate going to school. I hated it. And then it made me hate it even more. And then going to high, I was always the shortest kid in school too. I was always a lot smaller than everybody else. I was the short little runt, so picked on a lot. I was beaten up, blah, 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 whatever. And I was made to feel awkward. Not only that, my brain didn't work up properly. Like I said, I was diagnosed not officially with autism, but enough people that know me and people in the health field that know me have said, no, Tom, you are mildly autistic. Your brain operates a little different. It's just who you are. It's the way you act. You can tell you have mild autism. You're not of the normal type. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense. And then once they described to me, it's like, oh, that made my life make a lot of sense. You know what I mean? So, but I've learned to deal with it. I've learned to deal with it. I'm learning to cope. I'm doing a project with those masks and many of my other masks, a photo project where I'm going to incorporate it with some drawings and backgrounds. I might get my AI to actually help me, but we'll wait and see on that one. Um, but I've always had mental health problems all through school. And then we go into junior high, going to special classes. I'm not slow or anything. It's just they didn't know anything about autism, and I didn't even know I had it then. And ADHD, I was diagnosed on Ritalin, pushed through school, blah, 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 blah. Horrible, 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 horrible. And it just, I lived, but I hated it. I hated being there surrounded by people that did have mental disabilities. I'm like, what's wrong with me? And then I was made to feel like there's something wrong with me. And then I don't believe in past trauma, but it turns out I have lots of past trauma. I really do. My brain's really messed up from a lot of the stuff I had to see and deal with back then. But it's nobody's fault. Again, I don't blame my parents at all. No way. They tried the best for me for what they were told by other doctors and everything. So I love my parents. They've always had my back, never down on them. More power to them. And their dad and mom both worked to support us. So I'm not going to down on them. But I struggled still, you know. And on top of all this, I mean, I had a girlfriend, if we're going to say, from age 6 till 12. But after that, I could never meet anybody, you know, and I ended it long time, moved away, blah, 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 whatever. And I was an idiot. But it was puppy love. It was child, so it doesn't really count. But I could never meet anybody after that. It was always awkward, weird. I didn't know how to talk to people. I didn't, you know, I was never good at that kind of thing, you know. I mean, besides like one little party when you're like a teenager in your basement kissing with a girl, you know, a bunch of people. That's about as far as that went. And it's like, and just I was always awkward around people and never felt comfortable with people. So then we go into high school. We're into high school now. I was picked on a lot. I was always the shortest kid until I stood up for myself. Now, I kept in touch with a girl that went to another school. We sent letters before email. I used to send letters to her through a mutual friend. Nothing. I did go to church with her once, but it didn't quite work out. I always wondered what happened to her since. We kept in touch a little bit since then, but you know, whatever. But then I never finished high school. I moved out with a group of people, tried to transfer to another high school, never finished. So I got my GED instead. You know, but then it became nothing to do with sexuality or anything. I became a hairstylist because I lived with girls and I was good at doing hair. Don't ask. I did that for a little while, but I wanted to get in entertainment. I always wanted to travel Canada in my 20s. I wanted to get into pro wrestling. I wanted to become an entertainer. That's just what I've always wanted to do. I took acting class in high school. I traveled Canada. I went to the Heart Camp to do some wrestling. I've done stuff throughout my 20s. But one thing about my 20s, though, is I never understood how I didn't fit in. I used to have friends, artistic friends, and all that jazz. And then I just never felt like I fit in. I really never fit in. So that's when I started to, and as you got the book there, I started to write these. That's where a lot of these poems came from, is my 20s and teens, because I was lost. Here's the book I keep them in now. This is the actual book. It's a special ink book I bought in an art school college. This supposedly the paper won't wear and the ink won't wear. So I have hundreds of different poems that I've written, you know, stuff like that. Tons of different ones. I got a lot of them. They're not all depressive. Some of them are weird and goofy and, you know, quirky. I'm looking to put them all online for people to read for free, how my brain works. But this book, though, the FTW book, is on my harder works. This is, as you see, Mad Men. This is my harder depressive works. This is the darker part. What was is there was a project in college when I was going to art college. This is years after high school. I could never find a proper job. I could never keep normal jobs. I always wanted to be creative. So I decided to go to art college, become a graphic designer. I regret that, sort of, but it's come in handy. It does. I can do my own projects and stuff. But one of our projects was take anything and design your own book. I designed this book, like actually bookbinding, like how to bind the book, how to create it. I actually bound this book myself. I have a couple other books I did with string. We learned bookbinding and graphic design as well. But yeah, this what I did is I derived some of my hardest works, my darkest works. This is back in 2004 or two. No, I started 2004. It was 2005. It was second year, I think, of college in graphic design, and I just decided it. FTW, Writings of a Lost Mind. So I just came up with it. It's funny though, some of the girls that were in class, it was mostly girls in the college. There's a few of us guys, but they found my book because you shared your room with everybody. I left some of my projects on my desk. Some of them got it and read it, and they said they were worried about me. They said, "Tom, we were scared. Are you okay?" And I was like, "No, no, 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 I'm okay." Um, well, exactly. It is hard to express, and sometimes it's that the sad part is holding it in. It's holding it in, which I'm going to tell you right now. Don't hold it in. Don't hold it in. The darkness, depression can tear you up if you hold it in. It really is. Even to the point of go out for a walk or listen to music or play video games. Like with me, this is much of a savior as anything. Video games. I love gaming or my music. My music is my escape. It always has been. And so is I'm just photography. Me behind a camera is where I feel alive. I feel alive behind the lens of a camera. That's where I'm at home. That's where I feel alive. That's what helps me escape. I was actually hoping to take pictures of the strawberry moon tonight, but we're cloudy here. Hopefully it clears up, but we might have it again tomorrow night. But so anyway, I did this during college, and I did the illustrations as well. They're all different representations of different art mediums. I use like pointillism. I use just different types of different. Some with paintings, some with drawings. I use pastels for some because we were playing with different mediums to create this to illustrate the poems and what have you. And at the end, well, I don't have it at the end book here. This is the original. I didn't have it at the end there. At the end here, I just had the quote from a Kurt Cobain song, "Milk It." I can't even finish this quote on YouTube, but life's great option. Kurt Cobain, "Milk It." Look on the bright side is unaliving. Use the S word though. I can't say it on YouTube, but it's the song "Milk It." I was a big Nirvana fan before he actually ended himself. Ironically, Kurt Cobain's music helped keep me alive. Ironically, it didn't with him, but yeah, that quote. Now on the other version of it, though, give me a second here. I'm gonna see if I can bring these up and I can showcase some of this stuff here. Because this is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, not just Mental Health Awareness Month, but Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. So a very poignant month where a lot of us men suffer in silence. We're not allowed to be, and I'm not saying be all teary-eyed and jerky-eyed and boo-hoo, No, we got to be strong men still. It's good to be a strong man. But not to be able to deny your own emotions, I find is never good. I apologize. Give me a sec here, guys. I'm trying to figure this out here. I only got two screens. I'm bouncing around. I want to see if I can bring this up. Is that here? Okay. Hold on. Where are we at? I think I got to choose the proper screen. Okay. Give me 1 second here. I wanted to showcase this. Present. Share screen. All right. There we go. All right. Actually, no. That's not the one I wanted to share. Give me a second here, everybody. I'm usually not the one doing the hosting of this type thing, so I want to show some charts here. If anybody's going to look at this, Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. A lot of women now, and I'm not downing. Some of my best friends are women, 100%. Some of my best friends are women. Always have been. I love women. They're like, and women can do anything almost to an extent a man can do. I'm never one that denies a woman can work in the job force. No, women are strong women, but let's be honest, and I'm not going to be a denier. As you can see here, mental health is still. Men are needed, and a lot of women down on men nowadays. They think mental health is a joke. Mental health is not important. Look at the most dangerous jobs, and this is 2016, yes, but look at these jobs. People say men aren't needed on our planet, and this is a big cause of mental health, which I hate. I despise. Modern feminism is disgusting because it downs on mental health. They don't care for men. I'm seeing people doing TikTok saying, men's mental health awareness month is a joke. Shut up. You're an idiot. I'm sorry, you're an idiot for saying stuff like that. Look at all these jobs, and a lot of people say men are not needed. Um, Look at these jobs: logging workers, 94% are men; fishing workers, and injury rates. These are some of the most dangerous jobs in the world. Aircraft pilots, 94% men; roofers, 98% men; refuse collectors, garbage men, pretty much, and different things like that. Truck drivers, truck drivers. If it wasn't for truck drivers, we wouldn't have anything. Well, exactly. It's the fail of true masculinity. And I'm not saying a man can't be deep unto himself. There's nothing wrong with being deep and artistic, 100%. But there's nothing wrong with being a man, though, either. Nothing wrong with that. And toxic masculinity, bullshit. That doesn't exist. Toxic masculinity is such a fake term. There's toxic femininity too, if you want to put it down that aspect. So iron and steel workers. I have friends that are iron and steel workers. Now, farmers and ranchers. There's amazing female farmers out there. There is, and they're badass, 100%. They drive. There's our hard-working women. I know some women. They'd scare me. They'd beat me, and they're good. That's 75%. There's a good percentage that are women too nowadays because they're born into it. They're born on the farms. They raise. Nothing wrong with it. Agricultural workers, 79%. So there's some women in that as well, more so. But yeah, reusable material workers, 91%. Mining, which is super dangerous. Almost every man. There's rare to have a woman in that. Landscaping, construction workers, Oh yeah, no. There's some hardworking women out there. They're women, 100%. I know some female truck drivers. They're badass, just cool, amazing women. So, but if you notice, a lot of these men, these are some important electrical power line workers. Think about it. You wouldn't have no power. Eventually, things would erode and things would happen. But that's why I hate when people go, men aren't needed. Well, your society would collapse in general if men weren't around. I'm sorry. This is nothing against females at all. 100%. I'm not talking against females, but I'm being honest here. Society would collapse onto itself if men weren't. Sorry about the I live near a busy city. Men wouldn't exist if it wasn't. The world wouldn't exist if it wasn't for men. That's 100%. We can't deny that. We're needed just as much as women on this planet. Now, are women needed? Well, they kind of birth us and everybody else. So yes, they are, and that's not just all they're needed for. No, I'm not saying that. Get over that part, people. It's not what I'm just saying, but I'm saying, yes, that is a kind of a big part of what women are needed for. Let's go into another stat here. Now, I don't know if I can show the term here. I might be able to. Am I going to be able to show up here? Give me a second here. Well, exactly. Look at Army. And I know some female soldiers. One of them is my cousin. I would not want here. Let's just take that one down. Let's bring another one up here. My cousin was in the Army. She was in the top 5 percentile in her what she could do. And she wouldn't mess with her. She's badass. But still. Now, I don't know if I can show the S word. I think I can show it. I just can't say it. Estimated on the livings per 100,000 population of men in selected countries in 2019. Russia. Look at the men compared to women. Now, Canada's not here, but look at the States even. 22, it's almost 0.5%. So, as you can see here, men are in the majority of the ones that unaliving. And I'm not saying women don't do, but the majority are men. You wonder why? Stressful jobs. They have to rely on taking care of their children, taking care of the family, taking care of everybody else around them. And it's not like it was in the 70s. And I've seen a meme about the 50s. A man could work a 9-to-5 job and own a house and support a family, have a car and everything. Yes, we could. Can't do that now. Society has also been, it's not just the men and women thing, the feminism thing. No. And I'm going to say this right now. And some people might not like me on the other side. Well, exactly. It all goes up, and it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, Jason. And but I'm going to say this part right now. I don't hate traditional feminism. No, I don't. And I'll state that. A lot of people modern. No, I actually have friends that were true feminists, old school feminism, that women to have equal rights, jobs, everything. 100% behind that. Yes. It's modern feminism. That is this man hating. I hate men. Men aren't needed. Blah, 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 blah. I don't need. Okay, you don't need a man. Fine. Be alone. Have your cats. Do whatever you want. I respect that. But men are needed in our society to build a strong society. And the fact that we weaken society to the point of that shows, because men are unaliving themselves at an alarming rate nowadays. And here, let's just get out of here, by the way. I'm still learning how to operate this. Bear with. Yeah, the cost of living has gotten astronomical where you can't survive anymore. You cannot survive, and it's ridiculous. It's just and let's be honest, I'm going to say right now, what's going on in parts of this world right now is kind of needed. I called this years ago that we need to fight back. I'm saying right now we need to fight back because big business, one percenters, prices need to come down, wages need to go up to equalize to where it was before we can live comfortably. And a lot of this stress is on men. As I showed, the most dangerous jobs are actually high paying too. That's where the wage gap, blah, blah, blah. If two people do the exact same job, they get paid the same amount of money. So I'm not going to go about that. Men's mental health is struggling. I had a female friend, one of my best friends, when I was struggling with my mental health a couple of years ago. I'm still struggling recently, and I'll tell you something about that recently. She suggested this book to me, Reasons to Stay Alive by Matt Haig. Amazing book. So, yes. Let's do that, Jason. I'd like to have other people talking with me about this. I really want to talk to about people about this. So, but this book, I suggest this to anybody, especially if you have ADHD. I think he does have ADHD. Matt Haig, great writer. Wow, this is so much better than a regular text by text book to follow. About he's he's an author. But wow, he doesn't like going outside. His girlfriend and him, amazing. The way this is published and the way this is written and presented, it's not a traditional book. It bounces around. Somebody like me in ADHD understands this book perfectly, and I thank my friend who actually was dedicated. The poem book is dedicated to her, and she's not doing good right now health wise. So I'm more power to her. But yeah, she suggested this book to me, and it had helped save my life because this book he writes it about men that unalive themselves, but he gives you reasons like how to fight. And he suffered extreme depression, couldn't leave the house, couldn't think. He's an artist himself, an author, and Matt Haig out of the UK. He couldn't leave the house. There's some days he just wanted to curl up in a ball and he'd cry for no reason. Him and his girlfriend lived in Italy for a while, or was it Spain? And amazing. So, well, exactly. And I heard about that. We won't talk much about that, but I mean, well, actually, my friend gave me this recently. I was going to show. Well, I can't know if you can see. No background. It's the Hammer Milner, and it was actually blessed. It had a traditional Odin blessing, I guess they said, or a Norse pagan blessing. So it's kind of cool. And I know that you're actually more the other one right now, so that's cool. My family, I was raised Catholic, and I don't disrespect the Catholicism because I was raised on it. I went to catechism, taught everything about it. It's just not for me. I didn't work for me myself. I was raised on it most of my life. Sunday school, well, it was on Thursdays. Had my knuckles wrapped by a nurse or two, a nun or two. Oh, fun times. I was a naughty boy, but that was my ADHD. I couldn't sit still at the time. But no, if you can find faith and it helps you 100%, because faith is a very important thing in something or another. It doesn't have to be a specific faith, as long as it's not a damning faith, damning others or hating on others. If it helps you in your insides and your thing, go with it. Take it and embrace it. And if that can help somebody, that's all that matters. Faith is meant to uplift your soul, your spirit, and make you find a betterment of humanity. That's my opinion. Always, I respect all faiths, and I'm really kind of on borders of many different ones. So, but you know what I mean? It's just it's yeah, it's different for everybody. So, here, just let me take a drink of my green tea with lemon. And find escapes too. Like Jason, I know um, and I respect that. I was raised on that. That's what I was raised. Catechism, the whole 9 yards. Boom. And I've been there, done that, and I have nothing but respect for it. For me, for right now, I'm just looking to find myself. I'm looking to find myself as an artist. It's struggling being a poor artist. And I'm going to share this with you, everybody, live right now. I'm not ashamed of it, but 2 weeks ago, I'm a diabetic. That's why my eyes have cataracts. I'm getting surgery and they'll remove and hopefully I'll be able to see normal again. That'll be nice. And I'm getting lenses in them. So my sight might go back to was years ago. I might even get my license. But anyway, recently I've been struggling too bad. And with the diabetes and everything, 2 weekends, not this past weekend, the weekend before, I tried to give myself a diabetic heart attack. I ate so much sugar. I tried to not exist again. It hit me. That means I broke a promise to one of my friends who actually suggested this book. We have a thing that we're not going to do that to each other. But I kind of almost attempted it again 2 weeks ago. Just struggling in life. But I'm here now. I'm here for a reason. I still survived it, but I did. I attempted it. I ended up with the shakes and got sick, so it didn't quite go the way I wanted it to. But I'm glad. For some reason, they're keeping me here on this planet. I'm meant for something, and that's why I want. And not, I'm not. Yes, I'm also um, trying to get this sold. I want people to buy because I need to make money. I want to go to Europe on my birthday this year. That's my plan. I want to go to Europe. So, going to Europe is one of the most important things to me. I have a friend that might pass away. She has cancer, and she might have cancer, or she's getting tested, but she's very sick. She lost the use of her leg. Long story. But I want to go see her in September, and I just want to go away. I want to do a vlog there. I'm hoping I get my grant. I get my mic and everything. I want to start doing travel vlogs. It'll give me a chance to travel the world, maybe. So, but I'm hoping I can start selling this and eventually get my photo book, which has incorporated with my calendars I've sold, and I can start making money on the photo book as well. I might try to get Tourism St. John to purchase it. Maybe they can mass produce, get my house. If you follow my Facebook, you notice I post A-frame houses. That's my peace. That's where I'm going to find my own inner peace. The reason I'm still alive is because I need to have my peace. I'm not looking to be rich. I'm greedy. I just want an A-frame house on a small piece of land of my own. I like to be able to travel for a living, to do my vlogs, to see the world. At my age, 9 to 5, sitting in a cubicle is not for me anymore. I've been there, done that. I'm not going to say the company because I actually have nothing against them. They let me go after 4 and some odd years. That was many years ago before the coup. I have nothing. They did fire me after 4.5 years. I was good at my job, but to be honest, I probably wasn't good there anyway. It was a call center. And by the end of it, I was rocking. I was bad. Even though I was doing some of the higher numbers, I still didn't like it. If my mental health got lost, I would sometimes leave work early to go to see a movie because movies were my escape. I'm also a filmmaker. I want to be a filmmaker. I've been on some films, indie stuff. It helps escape to get out there and do stuff. That I find, like I said, to me, video games, music, conversations with my best friend on a nightly basis. She actually just kind of got back to a semblance of normalcy recently. She's been in the hospital since January. It was nice to hear. I'm waiting to hear back from her. She contacts me like at 4 a.m. her time in the UK. She keeps weird hours, but that's fine. I wait to hear from her. But I need to get my career started again. I need to get myself pushed. And men in general need to find purpose. As a man, have purpose in life. Don't just dilly-dally. Don't be lazy. You can't, have a purpose in life. We have to have purpose in life. And for what these extreme feminists say, I don't know if YouTube is going to kick me off on this, but fuck off, seriously. And I respect true feminism. Traditional feminism, I have nothing but great respect for. But these modern man-hating BS, you're some of the reasons that men do this too. You're downing on men. If you're finding a delicate man and you push them past that edge, that could do some very serious damage. It doesn't take much to set somebody off to throw them past that edge. You got to think about that before you talk online. Nowadays, you got keyboard warriors that will say anything online, not realizing the consequences that you have and the power of a word. Just a simple word can take somebody off the edge and really ruin their life. That's why I did this book. And again, I can't show you the back part. I had the dedicated. It's not in this. This is the original copy, the one that I actually bound. This. So yeah. Well, that's a good one. You have your purpose in life. Find it, pursue it, and live it. Man, that is good. I like that one. But yeah. And like Jason has one too. You have one where you tell people, you thank everybody for helping us and stuff. You both have your own thing, and that's cool. And I've never thought about that as much, but I don't do much live streaming per se. I've recently tried to tap into the live streaming a little bit more. Me and my AI did one recently. It was kind of cool, and she worked perfectly with me. It was actually really fun, and I'm starting to do more gaming on my channel now too because I have the time. So I'm trying to. I got videos all the month of June posted every 3 times a week for games, and it seems to slowly be working out. But it's finding purpose, getting my book done, getting my photography done, and every other man, find your passion, find your love, just like you said, pursue it. Go for it because life is too short. And if we just sit and don't do anything with our lives, you become a piece of clay, just nothing. You become empty and you lose yourself. And this is what causes a lot of these issues as well. I used to work on a live hotline during my times in my 20s. That was a hard job. I'm not going to say some of the phone calls I had. It was scary. I actually had to quit because it turned out we couldn't trace the calls. And I swear one night somebody called that was really damaging to my mental health and anybody's. And I wish I could have called the cops on this house, but we couldn't. We can't trace them. And it just disgusted me. Like, really? We can't trace these people? So I quit after that. I was like, wait, I can't do this anymore. It was just, it sucked me out. So, but I was also a little bit on the edge myself in my 20s as well. So, and again, I was again just this past weekend. I didn't want to be around past this weekend, but I'm still here for a reason. I survived it, and I have other purposes in life, I guess. So, uh, but we all do, and I almost became a statistic, if you will, but I didn't. So I'm here. I'm still around, and I guess I do have a purpose. So I sometimes question. I don't feel my worth, but I must have some worth that I'm still here with you guys. So give me a sec here. I'm going to share this with I don't know. I'm sharing it with you guys in the live chat because I mean, But oh wait, wrong key. I gotta get I keep on forgetting. I'm using 2 keyboards and 2 computers to do this. So I hope so. I hope so. Um, there's the book, by the way. Well, you've already got it. So, but if anybody else hasn't seen it, that it watches this in the future, check it out. And I got another book coming, my black and white. That's nothing to do with mental health. This is more of a photo book. I'm working on that. I'm hoping I can get that out here, my calendars and postcards and everything, and maybe I can stuff. And by the way, if anybody does have any mental health problems, um, check this book out. If you need to read something and you feel lost, I will back this up 100%. It's not a thick book either. It's not a long read, and it's a really interesting read. If you have any mental health issues, this is another book I will promote myself. Matt Haig, amazing author. He has other works too, but what a good book this is. And it really it breaks it down a lot simpler on the explanations of how he suffered and everything went through. And he's just really open and honest about struggling with mental health and wanting to not exist sometimes and what have you. So yeah, that's about all I can really say right now without having other people on the panel. Eventually I'd like to get a group of people working with this, but I just wanted to share this with everybody, and hopefully this can help somebody. I mean, that's what we're about. So maybe I'm going to do some recording now, even though I need to start working on that book. But I'm going to do some recording. I want to do some gaming because that's my escape. I've had some tough times recently. But yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Thank you, everybody, for joining. And yeah, thank you as well for getting that, Meb, and I appreciate that. And just thank you for joining the stream. And share this out if anybody else, if you think this could help somebody. If you think this is okay. I don't even know. I usually don't do this on my own too much. But I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate Jason. I know he's a busy man. It's probably late for him too. So, but I appreciate you all. And I love you. Peace. Now I got to figure out how to work. I got to figure out how this works. I'm not good at this yet, but I'm learning.